Hey everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and thank you so much for joining me for another fun fold card. Today we're making a double gate fun fold card. I had made a card like this a couple of years ago and it seemed very popular on Pinterest, so I figured I would make it with some different papers and give it another round here. So I love that you can use the same card design and use different themes, different paper, different stamps, and make a whole new card out of it. So this one I'm using the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. It's a 6x6, and I just went through some of these scraps and said, oh, I could fit some pieces here and here, and I cut the flowers and the leaves using the dies. So I didn't even use the stamp set. So there's dies and it has flowers in the paper that there's a die that works with, and also there's some leaves. So I just used those, and then I got my sentiments from Dainty Delight. It says Celebrate You, and here's how it opens. It comes right up like this, and then this is the double gatefold part of it, and then the best is yet to come on the inside. So this could be good for, you know, a graduation, a wedding. You could do Celebrate You and then do Happy Birthday on the inside. So lots of choices there, and whatever sentiments you want you can use. So we'll just put this right on. Now, of course, I'm going to use completely different products for the card that we're going to make today. And I wanted to use the Pick of the Patch, and I was trying to figure out a Designer Series paper to go with it. And I decided, you're not going to believe it, this is going to be a kind of a surprise, the Oh Holy Night, is that what it is? Oh Holy Night 12x12 Designer Series paper. And if you look at the, I call B side of the paper, so the other side, there's some nice prints. So I'm going to use, I'll show you, Pebbled Path, which I love, is the card base, and then this piece, and this piece, which is actually part of the scene that they have. So always look at the other side. So I just really kind of looked through my papers. I wanted something that was kind of earthy, that would go with pumpkins. I was looking for pumpkin pie, but we didn't have anything with that. So I went with this, and I'm hoping it works. I love this Pebbled Path. It's one of my favorite new in colors. There's just something about it. And then I thought these were pretty. So there's lots of pieces. I will have all the measurements in a project sheet. So if you look below this video on YouTube, there's a link for a project sheet and has pictures and measurements and instructions. So you could just print that out or just save it in a file. And then I also have that in my blog, my website, pspapercrafts.com. And there will be picture and instructions. The project sheet is there as well. So let's get started with the card, and I'll give you some of the dimensions as we go, but again, don't worry about writing them down. First thing we have is you only really get one card out of a piece of cardstock. So this is 5.5 by 11. Usually we do a 4.25 by 11 and you get 2 cards, but this is 5.5 because this is going to be the main, you know, size of the card to make it an A2 card. So we're going to take this, it's 11 across, and we are going to, let me get my cutting blade up and get my scoring blade. Let me make sure I'm in here. And we are going to score it at 1.25. So 1.25. And score. I hope there's not too much noise outside. They're doing there's new townhouses being built across the street, and my lawn, I think they're working on putting my lawn in, so there's a lot of construction every day, and I'm like, when is there a good time to do my videos? So 1.25, and then we're going to do 3 3/8. So 3, and there's 1, 2, 3/8. So that's between 1/4 and 1/2. And we'll just go up and down here. Sorry for the shaking. And then we're just going to turn it around. You can go all the way out and do, you know, put your arm up. But I found it easier to just do the same thing on the other side. So we're doing 1 1/4. So 1 1/4. and then 3 3/8. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. And we'll just score like this. And that's our card base. So let me just put this aside, and then we'll just fold. Let me get my bone folder. And then we're going to fold these back. And we'll do that on both sides. So fold it in. So now you have the base to the card, right? It makes sense. And then what you're going to do is lay pieces of cardstock. I have white cardstock underneath it, and then I have the designer series paper. So you've got your card here. So I'm going to do this again. I have a white mat behind each. If you don't want to put the white mat, like if you wanted to do it on a white card, then I would use the dimensions for the white, but use it for the designer series paper. So you don't, I hope that makes sense. So this designer series paper would be the size of the white if you wanted to leave the white out. And that'll be in the project sheet, the measurements. So just keep that in mind. But I like having the white behind it. So I've got all these pieces. I have these that will go back here with this. So let's put them together. And I'm just going to use liquid glue. And I thought, you know, I could do the stars. That's another choice. Like these stars with these stars. I thought that might be nice as well. If you wanted to do the star, the Oh Holy Night. I think there's stars in the dies and the stamps and stuff. So lots of choices, but always look at your papers. You know, I always say that designer series paper is my favorite product of Stampin' Up's, and I'm going to stand by that. That is what I like the best. I love all their products. I love that everything coordinates, but what I really like is that, you know, on the back of the paper, it tells you what colors are in it, so you know that this is Pebbled Path, and I can use this to work together. So see the difference? I'll just show you. So this is with the white. Okay. And then this is without the white. And I just think the white makes it pop a little bit better. So I love the back of this. This paper is gorgeous. I love it. This is what I used for my September card class, which I will be sending out in the next couple of days. I'm just about done with it. Some of it was on back order, so I had to wait. And then this will go on the skinnier pieces of white. So we'll do the comparison of that as well. So once you have everything cut, it's pretty easy. I'm going to put it down this way. There's some ridges that I'm seeing. And this probably doesn't need the white as much, but if you're doing the white on this, so here we go. This with the white, or without the white. And of course, this would be the size of the white piece, like I was saying before. So that would be okay. So let's just put this one down. So this is one of the scene, the pictures, kind of the desert scene or whatever in Bethlehem for the Oh Holy Night. If you wanted to do the nativity set and all of that. There's some nice background sheets for that. So now we just want to put all of our pieces on the card base. So there's a lot of, once you cut everything, it's just really putting everything together and then deciding what you want on the belly band. And that's where I started with my idea, was I wanted to use the pick of the patch, the pumpkins. So then I went on the search for papers, and I hope it looks okay, you know, and I'm using pumpkin pie on it, but you can use anything. I've seen blue pumpkins and I think they actually look cute. So, and you just want to lay this and make sure it's even side to side, and then you want to try to line everything up so, you know, it's pleasing to the eye. And then we'll just do this side, and I think this is so pretty. It seems kind kind of like a antique-y kind of look. Something about it. I think it would be pretty with some kind of floral too. I was actually going to do the rustic, I think it's the rustic basket, rustic crate. That's what it is. I thought that might be good with this as well. But I'm thinking a nice flower, like this flower on this, to kind of just pull out a bright color with it. This would be good for a wedding card, right? The colors? I don't know. I'm just rambling. So now we have our base to the card. So the next thing we want to do is the belly band. So I have two choices. I cut two pieces. So when you cut your card and you're doing the 5.5, then just you're going to do another inch. So you're really only wasting, and not that you're wasting it, this much is left over from a sheet, and you can use this definitely for other projects. So we want to either do this like this. Oh, I think that's pretty. Or we can do white for the belly band. So let's just put this like this, just to get a look. I always play with things, see what I want to do. I like them both. I think the white kind of brightens it up a little bit. I'm going to go with the white, but if you were making this, you make your own decisions. How's that? So I'm going to adhere these together with some liquid glue, and then we're going to just wrap it around and create our belly band. It's kind of long, so this is 1 by 11, and then this is what is it, 7/8 by 11, and it's really long. You can cut it down if it's too bulky. Okay, and then we want to wrap it from the back, so because we're going to cover the front with our pumpkin and our sentiment. So we want to just lay it down. We want to make sure this covers nicely, and we want to make sure that it will move. So you don't want to make it too tight. So I like to do it right on the card. It's a little daring because you don't want to get glue on the card, but I like to put it on. Let's go out a little bit further. I'm going to put a little bit on the edge of here to make sure I go out all the way, because I don't want that hanging off or sticking up. Okay, so now you want to make sure that it's not too tight. Perfect. Or you want to make sure it's not too loose, right? So now we want to, and I'm going to just put this down, and I'm going to put my punch on it just to make sure it holds it tight, because that is tight. You can also use tear and tape or Seal Plus if you wanted to. You want something strong to hold that belly band together. So let's get our stamping done. I'm going to just move this here. So this is the pick of the patch, and we are going to stamp, I already have it out, the pumpkin. It looks like there's something there. And we're going to use pumpkin pie ink, and I just want to make sure. Isn't that pretty? So let's get a scrap of white. I have a pile of scraps right there, and I like to see how it's going to be fed in. So I'm going to put it right here on the bottom. Whenever I use a punch, I always like to look at the bottom of the punch to see how you're going to punch it. And then I'm going to put this aside, and we can punch it out. And then we want to punch the stem as well. And let's see if we want just one pumpkin or more. So I like to just, you want the white around the whole thing to be kind of even. And I did punch out the stem, but I'll punch it out again. So this is going to go like this. And Let's get the stem going, and then we'll decide if we want the smaller pumpkin as well. So I have the stem and I have Pebbled Path. So we're going to, I could use Crumb Cake as well. I think that's the other color here. And we'll just punch this, and I am going to do it right like this. Put that aside, and then we can punch this right like that. Wow, that went flying. Where did it go? Did I lose it? Oh, I didn't punch it. Well, isn't that weird? I feel like I punched it, but it didn't punch out. I don't think I went down far enough. Oh well. So we'll put this right on here. So just put a little dot of glue. And then we'll get the sentiment, and we'll see if we want to add another pumpkin. You could also add the bird, or what am I thinking of? Not squash. The gourd, if you wanted to. So let's put this aside, and we're going to do Happy Halloween. And I think I want to do that on, and I'll do the inside, you're the pick of the patch. And how about if we put the face on? So I have black memento, and we're going to put this little face on. I'm hoping it's not too dark. I could have done the pumpkin a lighter color, you know, stamped it off first. Oh, that's cute. And then let's see, we'll do Happy Halloween. I have that one as well. And maybe we'll do that in the Pebbled Path. And I think I want to do it on a 3/4. This is an inch. Let me just cut it down to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to cut it down a little bit. I'm winging it. I wonder if I'd do a 1/2 inch. I want it to be small. No, I think we need to do 3/4. I don't want it to be, you know, like bigger than the belly band. Although I guess that wouldn't matter, right? And we'll do this. And I'm going to put it over here so it will fit under the pumpkin. And let's see what it looks like. Let's banner it. Get my banner Pick-a-Punch. That's what I used on the other card as well. So we're just going to go under. Got all these little scraps. I think I want to do the other pumpkin too. Let's do it and see how it looks. So the other pumpkin, that is going to go this way. So I'm going to do it over there. Do I have that mounted? I don't have it mounted. So let's mount it. And that's the other one that kind of has the top that will punch out. This top with the 3. So there's these 2 punch with this. The other ones you could fussy cut too. Very easy to fussy cut. So let's do another pumpkin pie. And I'm just gonna so I said I was going to do it like this. And let's turn it over. I did all that stamping before, right? And it doesn't come out good. Like this. And let's put the face on him. These could be for my grandkids. 2 pumpkins. And then let's put it in like this. See, now I'm wasting this whole thing, but that's okay. That is okay. And then let's do another stem. I'm all over the place, right? Let's see how this is gonna look. So happy Halloween. That looks cute. So let's get the pebbled path, and we're going to do it. I'm going to get a little piece. I don't know how little it is, but a skinny piece. And I like to just squeeze it a little bit, and then you can fine tune it. And with this one, since it's a smaller pumpkin, you can go down further if you want. We'll put a little dot of glue on it. Put it behind there. Okay, so let's put these together. And what I'm going to do is use some dimensionals first, and then I'll put this down with glue. So I want to use the dimensionals. I want to make sure they're not going above this. So I'm going to put them like this. And same thing with this. We don't want to go above or below the belly band. And take the backs off. Now this looks like it might be a little tight, so we might have to cut this down. I want it to just sneak underneath this pumpkin. There we go. And I'm going to put this down with glue, the liquid glue. I'll just put this right like this. I think it's cute. It's different paper, right? And we should put some bling on it. So I think I'll use these iridescent pastel gems. I love them. And this is Calypso Coral, which doesn't work greatly, but I think this will work. So let's put this on. Let me get my Take Your Pick tool. And so on this one, I did a big and a little, big and a little, and then a little one there. So I may do the same thing. So let's just get a big one. So they're not, you know, the color's not there, but they do give a sparkle. I think it's pretty. So we'll do one here, like this, and here. And then we'll just put one little guy right there. Okay, oh, and we have to do the inside. That is something we need to do. So I have an inside piece here, and I'll do the Happy Halloween. What is it? You are the pick of the patch. And let's do that in the pebbled path. And then we'll do another pumpkin on the bottom. You can also put the designer series paper at the bottom. You are the pick of the patch. And then, let me just close this up so we don't get in trouble. Let's do the pumpkin. So let's just do this big guy. I'm wondering if I should do the face on him again. Why not? And I bet you I could have done the face not in black, but just the pebbled path. But let's try it again in black. I'm just going to use one pumpkin. And then we need the little stem. So we'll take this out again, put this one away. And I love that it's photopolymer because it really helps you line things up. And I probably should have said that till I did this. All right. Cute, cute, cute. And I'm going to put this down with my Stampin' Seal. This will go right on the inside. Take this off. And we'll just center this. Okay, so it'll open up like this. And we put this on. You just have to be careful when you put, these are pretty high little gems. So these are the two cards. Again, you can use any designer series paper. So check out my project sheet and then use what you have on hand and make whatever you want for whatever, you know, occasion. All right, come back again next week and I'll have another card for you. Take care. Bye.